In this video, we're diving into a fascinating and relatable topic. Why do certain people occupy our thoughts so persistently? And is it possible that they're thinking about us too? By applying Stoic philosophy, we'll uncover the reasons behind this mental fixation and discuss practical steps you can take, especially when these thoughts have a romantic flavor. Stick around until the end, where I'll share 10 powerful strategies to help manage these thoughts and potentially draw that person closer into your life. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We've all experienced moments when someone seems to dominate our mind, whether during work, study, or leisure. This preoccupation can become overwhelming. According to the Stoics, mastering our internal responses is essential for living a virtuous life. So when this person's image repeatedly invades our thoughts, we have a chance to practice serenity and control over our emotions. The question of whether this person is also thinking of us often lingers. Interestingly, concepts from modern physics like quantum entanglement suggest that everything in the universe is interconnected. Similarly, the Stoics believed in a universal interconnection, hinting that our lives are indeed linked with others, even across great distances. This person could be anyone, a friend, a co-worker, or someone you have deep feelings for. The intensity of these thoughts can vary, but Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain our composure and focus on our own virtue, regardless of external emotions. In romantic scenarios, these thoughts can be even more intense and emotionally charged, especially if they involve someone we've lost or someone who feels out of reach. The Stoics would urge us to differentiate between our perceptions and reality, reminding us not to let our emotions overtake our rational mind. When someone dominates our thoughts, it may be a signal to examine our inner response to these feelings. The Stoics emphasized rigorous mental discipline, encouraging us to question whether our thoughts are grounded in reality or fueled by unfulfilled desires. By turning our attention inward and honestly assessing our motivations and emotions, we can gain a clearer understanding of why this person occupies so much space in our mind. Through this introspection, we might discover that while our mind is clouded with doubts and insecurities, our heart may sense a genuine connection, something that transcends the immediate situation. Instead of obsessing over whether this person thinks of us, the Stoics guide us to use this experience to strengthen our character. By engaging in reflection and meditation, we can channel our mental energy more constructively, preparing ourselves to accept any outcome with grace, whether it leads to mutual feelings or the acceptance of emotional independence. Now, I'm going to introduce a technique rooted in Stoic wisdom that can help manage these persistent thoughts and perhaps pave the way for a more meaningful connection with the person in question. This method involves visualization and affirmations that empower us to focus on what we can control, our own attitudes and responses. The first step is to recognize when our thoughts are becoming obsessive. Rather than allowing these thoughts to drain our mental energy, we can visualize ourselves as masters of our own minds, releasing these thoughts into the universe in a way that no longer burdens us. Next, we shift our focus to affirming our resilience and independence, reminding ourselves of our ability to find joy and contentment regardless of others' actions or thoughts. By doing this, we not only manage our tendency to obsess over others, but also fortify ourselves to face any situation with stoic calm. This practice not only aids in managing thoughts about that person, but also enhances our ability to live a fulfilling life aligned with Stoic principles, self-control, resilience, and practical wisdom. We've explored how our thoughts about another person can deeply impact our emotional and mental state. Now, as we continue on this journey of self-discovery and self-mastery, I'll introduce 10 practical Stoic lessons. These lessons will help us build the resilience and wisdom needed to navigate these complex situations, all while applying Stoic philosophy to achieve peace and balance in our lives. First lesson: cultivating emotional resilience. The fourth Stoic lesson emphasizes the importance of cultivating emotional resilience, a critical skill for navigating the uncertainty of others' thoughts and feelings. This resilience enables us to maintain serenity and clear thinking, even when faced with persistent doubts about whether someone is thinking of us. Stoic philosophy teaches us to strengthen our spirit amid emotional fluctuations that such thoughts can bring. Often, someone's behavior or silence can lead us to endlessly question their thoughts about us, causing significant anxiety and emotional distress. However, the Stoics remind us that the goal is not to avoid challenges, but to face them with balance and inner strength. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding the impact of these situations, but about how we respond to them in a constructive, balanced way. The first step in developing this resilience is recognizing that our emotions are natural responses to expectations and that we can manage them. While we cannot control another person's thoughts, we do have complete control over how we interpret and respond to them. For instance, if we worry about whether someone is thinking of us, we can choose to see this concern as an opportunity to examine and overcome our insecurities. Practicing Stoic self-questioning, reflecting on our emotional reactions and questioning their validity and usefulness, helps us develop a more objective, less reactive perspective. This allows us to face emotionally charged situations with greater calm and decisiveness. Visualization is another key technique for building emotional resilience. By mentally preparing for scenarios where our feelings might not be reciprocated, we reduce the fear of the unknown and reinforce our ability to remain stable regardless of external circumstances. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in developing emotional resilience. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we shift our perspective from what we lack to what we have, which diminishes the negative impact of obsessive thoughts about others. Finally, cultivating healthy relationships and supportive communities is essential. Sharing our concerns with trusted individuals who offer alternative perspectives and support can be incredibly enriching. These relationships remind us that while we may not control every aspect of life, we are not alone in our struggles. In summary, Stoic practices help us develop emotional resilience, equipping us to face not only worries about others' thoughts, but also any challenges life presents. This lesson teaches us to maintain our integrity and serenity, building inner strength to live according to our principles, regardless of the emotional storms that may arise. Second lesson: the practice of constancy. The final Stoic lesson explores the practice of constancy, an essential skill for maintaining consistency in our thoughts and actions, regardless of external circumstances. Constancy teaches us to stay committed to virtue and wisdom, even when faced with doubts about others' thoughts or when our own thoughts become obsessive or troubling. In Stoicism, constancy means maintaining a steady course of action and commitment to core values, despite emotional challenges or situations that test our resilience. It requires continuous dedication to self-development and self-regulation, ensuring that our responses are guided by principles rather than fleeting impulses. To cultivate constancy, it's crucial to develop a routine of Stoic practices that reinforce discipline and focus. These might include daily meditation, reflecting on Stoic teachings, and regularly examining our actions and motivations. By integrating these practices into daily life, we strengthen our ability to stay true to our ideals regardless of emotional fluctuations or external distractions. A vital component of constancy is accepting change as an inevitable part of life. While our emotions and circumstances may fluctuate, our adherence to Stoic principles and commitment to virtue should remain unwavering. This understanding helps us find stability within ourselves, allowing us to face uncertainty and challenges with a resilience that is both firm and flexible. Constancy also involves perseverance, continuing on our path even when immediate results are not visible or when our efforts seem unreciprocated. This is especially relevant when we persistently think about someone and wonder if they think of us. Perseverance keeps us focused on our growth and well-being rather than getting caught up in others' thoughts or actions. Additionally, constancy requires developing patience, a virtue that teaches us to accept that some things take time to resolve or understand. By cultivating patience, we allow processes to unfold naturally without forcing outcomes or reacting impulsively to momentary emotions. Finally, the practice of constancy emphasizes valuing consistency over complacency. This means being willing to continually evaluate and re-evaluate our actions and motivations to ensure they align with Stoic values. This approach not only strengthens our personal integrity, but also sets an example for others, demonstrating that it's possible to live a life of purpose and peace, no matter the emotional storms we encounter. By mastering constancy, we secure our emotional and ethical stability and contribute to a world where wisdom and virtue guide human existence. This final lesson underscores the importance of unwavering dedication to Stoic philosophy, equipping us to navigate life's challenges with confidence and clarity. Third lesson: the virtue of acceptance. In Stoicism, accepting things as they truly are is essential for developing virtue and personal tranquility. This lesson explores acceptance, especially when we can't stop thinking about someone. Our minds often fixate on others, creating expectations and desires that disrupt our inner peace. The Stoics teach that true freedom lies in accepting that we can only control our own thoughts and actions, not those of others. When faced with the unease of incessant thoughts about someone, Stoicism encourages deep introspection on what is truly within our control. We must distinguish between our actions and external events beyond our reach. For example, while we can't ensure that the person we're thinking about also thinks of us, we can manage how we respond to that uncertainty and how it affects our emotional state. Stoic acceptance is an active process of refocusing our attention on our behavior and emotional responses. This involves cultivating detachment from outcomes beyond our influence, reducing anxiety and frustration. By practicing this virtue, we gain greater serenity and clarity in our social and emotional interactions. To implement acceptance in daily life, start by observing when your peace is disturbed by obsessive thoughts. Ask yourself, what is within my control in this situation? This helps redirect your energy from unproductive worries to constructive actions and self-improvement. Through this practice, you cultivate patience and emotional strength, which are crucial for navigating life's challenges with balance and wisdom. Strengthening Stoic acceptance through meditation and daily reflection helps internalize the idea that our happiness and peace shouldn't depend solely on others' actions or thoughts. This approach allows us to live more centered lives, where our emotions align with our deepest values. By embracing acceptance as a central part of life, we become more adaptable to change and challenges and more compassionate toward others. Fourth lesson: mastering the art of reflection. The seventh Stoic lesson highlights the critical role of reflection in managing persistent thoughts about others, particularly when we wonder if they are also thinking about us. Stoic reflection goes beyond mere contemplation. It's a meditative practice that deepens our understanding of our thoughts and emotions, enabling us to respond in a controlled manner that aligns with our values. The essence of reflection lies in introspection, examining the causes and motivations behind our recurring thoughts about someone. This practice helps us recognize patterns in our emotional responses and question the validity and usefulness of these thoughts. Through reflection, we often discover that our concerns about whether someone else is thinking of us are amplified by our own insecurities or desires for validation. To practice Stoic reflection effectively, it's beneficial to set aside daily time for introspection. This can involve journaling about thoughts and feelings related to daily interactions or engaging in focused meditation, observing thoughts without clinging to them. The key is to approach reflection with an open mind and a willingness to learn and grow, rather than to judge or criticize. A crucial aspect of Stoic reflection is the concept of reflective detachment, viewing our thoughts and emotions as if they belong to someone else. This detachment allows for a more objective and less emotionally charged evaluation, reducing the emotional impact of our thoughts and fostering a calmer response. Reflection is further enhanced by analyzing our reactions to past situations, especially those dominated by anxiety or obsession with others' thoughts. By reviewing these experiences from a Stoic perspective, we can learn valuable lessons on how to handle similar situations in the future, avoiding repetitive patterns that lead to emotional imbalance. Regular reflection also sharpens mental clarity and focus, which are essential for maintaining serenity in the face of emotional challenges. With greater clarity, we can distinguish what truly matters from distractions or superficial concerns. Finally, reflection fosters gratitude and appreciation for our journey, even when faced with uncertainty about others' thoughts. By reflecting on our progress and the challenges we've overcome, we cultivate a sense of peace and satisfaction, independent of external circumstances. Mastering the art of reflection prepares us to manage thoughts about others more effectively, enriching our lives with a deeper understanding of who we are and what we truly value. This Stoic lesson is fundamental for anyone seeking to live a more intentional and less reactive life, grounded in self-awareness and inner peace. Fifth lesson: cultivating the philosophical perspective. The ninth Stoic lesson focuses on cultivating a philosophical perspective, especially when dealing with persistent thoughts about someone and questioning whether they also think of us. This Stoic teaching encourages us to adopt a broader, deeper view of life, helping us maintain control over our thoughts and emotions and reinforcing our ability to live wisely and serenely. Central to the Stoic philosophical perspective is the idea of understanding the nature of things, including our own thoughts and emotions, within the broader context of the universe. This perspective reminds us that our thoughts about others are just a small part of a much larger reality, and giving them excessive weight can divert us from the path of virtue and tranquility. To cultivate this perspective, it's helpful to practice placing personal concerns within a broader context. This can be achieved through meditation on the immensity of time and space, reflecting on how many of our daily problems, including concerns about whether someone is thinking of us, will seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things. This exercise is not meant to foster indifference, but to provide clarity about what truly deserves our attention and energy. A key aspect of the philosophical perspective is learning to differentiate between what is and what seems to be. Persistent thoughts are often fueled by distorted perceptions or unverified assumptions. By adopting a more critical, questioning approach, we can challenge these perceptions and seek a more accurate, grounded understanding of reality. This involves asking questions like, is there concrete evidence to support what I'm thinking? Or, am I interpreting this situation fairly and objectively? Moreover, this perspective encourages us to value personal growth and continuous learning above all. Every experience, including those involving persistent thoughts about others, should be viewed as an opportunity to learn something valuable about ourselves, others, or the nature of life. This approach transforms challenges into tools for personal improvement, motivating us to always seek wisdom and virtue in our responses. You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself, and I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write, "I have the power," so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Gratitude is also a crucial component of the Stoic philosophical perspective. By focusing on the things we are grateful for, we counter the tendency to obsess over negative concerns. Gratitude helps us recognize and appreciate the many positive aspects of our lives, balancing thoughts that might otherwise cause disruption and anxiety. Finally, cultivating a philosophical perspective involves embracing the idea that everything in life is temporary, including our thoughts and emotions. Recognizing the impermanence of our experiences allows us to maintain emotional distance from life's highs and lows, fostering a tranquility deeply rooted in Stoic wisdom. This lesson teaches us to approach life with a wisdom that transcends immediate concerns, enabling us to live with mental peace and clarity of purpose. By adopting this broader view, we enhance our ability to face any challenge with balance and confidence, cultivating a life aligned with the highest Stoic ideals. Sixth lesson: discernment and rational response. A crucial Stoic skill for managing persistent thoughts about someone is discernment, the ability to separate emotional perceptions from rational responses. This lesson focuses on using discernment to understand why certain thoughts overwhelm us and how to respond in a rational, Stoic manner. When caught in a cycle of thoughts about someone, we often wonder if they are thinking of us too, leading to emotional turmoil. The Stoics teach us to critically examine these impressions, questioning whether they are based on facts or mere desires. To practice discernment, recognize that your thoughts and emotions are automatic responses to stimuli, but your freedom lies in choosing how to react. Instead of letting thoughts about someone else consume you, approach them with detachment and objectivity. Daily reflection exercises strengthen discernment, helping you understand why certain thoughts affect you deeply and allowing you to respond in ways that align with Stoic values. This process helps you realize that while you can't control another person's thoughts, you can control the importance you place on them. Moreover, Stoic discernment involves mindfulness, observing thoughts and emotions without judgment. Becoming an observer of your mind allows you not to be carried away by disruptive thoughts, which is especially useful when obsessive thoughts might lead to impulsive behaviors or poorly considered decisions. Questioning the validity of assumptions is another key aspect of discernment. Too often we assume our feelings are mirrored by others or that our desires are reciprocated without clear evidence. Stoicism challenges us to seek concrete proof before drawing conclusions and to be ready to accept that our perceptions might be mistaken. Applying discernment in daily life also teaches us to value rational responses over emotional reactions. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings, but rather understanding their origins and consciously deciding how they will influence our actions. This allows for more thoughtful decisions and helps maintain a balanced mindset, even in the face of uncertainty or emotional challenges. By mastering Stoic discernment, we build resilience against the emotional turmoil caused by persistent thoughts about others. This makes us more capable of facing life's challenges with serenity and confidence, knowing that our happiness and peace depend not on the actions or thoughts of others, but on our ability to respond with clarity and virtue. Practicing discernment transforms our relationship with our thoughts and emotions, helping us respond in ways that align with our deepest values and commitment to a virtuous life. This improves our mental and emotional health and enhances the quality of our interactions and relationships, allowing us to be more present and engaged in a meaningful way. Seventh lesson, the art of impassibility. The sixth, Stoic lesson explores the art of impassibility, which focuses on maintaining calm and objectivity when persistent thoughts about others arise. This skill is crucial to prevent such thoughts from dominating our emotions and negatively impacting our quality of life, especially when we wonder if someone else is also thinking about us. Impassibility, or the ability to remain undisturbed by external emotions, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics teach us to aspire to a life where our emotions result from rational deliberations, not uncontrollable impulses. By developing impassibility, we learn to filter and control our emotional reactions, ensuring they align with our deepest values rather than being swayed by others' thoughts and actions. To practice impassibility, it's essential first to recognize that thoughts about whether someone is thinking of us often reflect our own insecurities and need for validation. By identifying the origin of these thoughts, we can begin questioning their relevance and truth. Asking yourself, what do these thoughts reveal about my own needs, helps you understand the underlying reasons and work on resolving internal issues. Meditation focused on acceptance is a practical exercise for developing impassibility. This involves sitting in silence, observing thoughts as they arise, and practicing accepting them without judgment or emotional engagement. The goal is not to suppress these thoughts, but to observe them as passing clouds in the sky of our mind, helping us disidentify from them and see that they hold no power unless we allow it. Affirmations that reinforce emotional and rational independence, such as, "I control my inner peace," or "My emotions are chosen responses, not impulsive reactions," are also effective. When repeated daily, especially during anxious times, these affirmations help strengthen our resilience. Additionally, proactive visualization, mentally preparing to handle potentially disturbing situations calmly, can cultivate impassibility. This practice not only strengthens the mind against future disturbances, but also helps create a habit of responding with serenity and objectivity. Finally, engaging in activities requiring focus and dedication, such as sports, studying complex topics, or creative projects, reinforces our ability to maintain impassibility. These activities train the mind not to be easily disturbed by distractions or intrusive thoughts. By mastering the art of impassibility, we strengthen our emotional resilience and improve our ability to live according to our principles without being swayed by every thought or emotion that arises. This skill is essential for maintaining tranquility and objectivity in all aspects of life, enabling us to face challenges and uncertainties with confidence and clarity. Eighth lesson, reinforcing emotional self-sufficiency. The fifth Stoic lesson focuses on reinforcing emotional self-sufficiency, a crucial skill for maintaining stability amid uncertainty about others' thoughts. This self-sufficiency enables us to rely less on external validation and more on our own judgment and values, making it easier to deal with persistent thoughts about others. especially in romantic contexts where reciprocity of feelings is uncertain. Emotional self-sufficiency in Stoicism does not mean isolation or a lack of human connections. Instead, it refers to finding satisfaction and peace within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. True freedom, according to Stoics, is the absence of uncontrolled emotional reactions that arise when we worry excessively about what others think. Recognizing that the pursuit of external validation is a common source of distress is the first step. Worrying about whether someone is thinking of us often stems from a desire for validation. However, this dependence can make us vulnerable to emotional upheaval, as it places our emotional control in another person's hands. To cultivate emotional self-sufficiency, Stoics recommend practices like morning and evening reflection, where we review our thoughts and actions, evaluating them against our own standards of virtue and wisdom. This practice reinforces the awareness that the approval we truly need is our own, reducing the need for external confirmation. Premeditation, where we anticipate possible scenarios like rejection or unreciprocated feelings, is another useful Stoic technique. By visualizing and rationally disarming these scenarios, we reduce their potential emotional impact. This strengthens our resilience and prepares us to face situations without despair or instability. Moreover, cultivating passions and interests that are inherently satisfying helps strengthen our emotional independence. This not only distracts us from unproductive worries about others' thoughts, but also enriches our lives, making others' opinions less significant. Finally, reinforcing emotional self-sufficiency involves cultivating virtues like courage and justice, enabling us to act in accordance with our principles, regardless of external opinions. Practicing these virtues affirms our commitment to a life that values integrity and self-control, fundamental to Stoic living. By mastering emotional self-sufficiency, we free ourselves from the need for external validation and gain the ability to live with true freedom and satisfaction. This lesson teaches us to value our own opinions above all others, providing a solid foundation for handling any emotional situation with balance and confidence. Ninth lesson: the power of presence. Practicing presence and focusing on the present moment is vital for those struggling with persistent thoughts about someone else. In Stoicism, being present not only enhances our ability to live in the now, but also alleviates the burden of worries about what we can't control, such as another person's thoughts. This lesson is particularly relevant when we find ourselves repeatedly thinking about someone and wondering if they think of us. Instead of getting lost in such thoughts, which can lead to anxiety, Stoicism encourages us to observe these thoughts without judgment and without letting them dominate our emotions. To practice presence, you can use mindfulness techniques, like consciously observing your thoughts and emotions as they occur. Simple practices like deep breathing and asking, "What am I feeling right now?" help connect you with your current state, bringing clarity and reducing the impact of obsessive thoughts. Engaging in activities that require full attention, such as art, writing, or exercise, also helps draw the mind away from unproductive worries. Presence in interactions means fully engaging in the moment rather than seeking signs that someone is thinking of you. This approach not only improves relationships, but also builds emotional independence, allowing you to live a more fulfilled life based on your actions and present choices. 10th lesson: strengthening conscious communication. The 8th Stoic lesson emphasizes the importance of conscious communication, particularly when we find ourselves constantly thinking about someone and wondering if they also think of us. This lesson teaches us how to approach interactions in a way that fosters understanding, clarity, and mutual respect, reducing misunderstandings and the unnecessary assumptions that fuel our insecurities and anxieties. In Stoicism, conscious communication is more than just talking or listening. It's a mindful practice where every word and gesture is carefully considered. This approach is especially crucial when dealing with persistent thoughts about someone, as how we communicate can directly influence our feelings about those thoughts and the relationship itself. To practice conscious communication, we first need to learn active listening, paying attention not only to the words spoken, but also to the emotional context and intentions behind them. This allows us to respond more appropriately and sensitively, alleviating many concerns about whether we are understood or whether our feelings are reciprocated. Equally important is being clear and honest in our own communication. This means expressing our thoughts and feelings openly and directly, avoiding ambiguities that can lead to misunderstandings. Clear communication not only facilitates more effective dialogue, but also helps put our concerns into perspective, reducing the tendency to assume that others know what we are thinking or feeling without us having clearly expressed it. Patience is another vital aspect of conscious communication. Persistent thoughts about someone often stem from a desire for immediate reciprocity or validation. However, by slowing down and allowing conversations and relationships to develop naturally, we create space for deeper, more genuine understandings to emerge, which builds stronger foundations for our interactions and reduces anxiety about how others perceive us. Conscious communication also involves handling criticism or negative feedback constructively. Rather than reacting defensively or emotionally, Stoics view criticism as an opportunity for growth. This approach not only improves interpersonal relationships, but also strengthens our emotional resilience, enabling us to maintain calm and objectivity even in tense situations. Beyond improving direct communication, conscious communication involves refining our body language and non-verbal cues. The alignment between what we say and how we act is crucial for conveying our true intentions and ensuring our messages are received as intended. This is particularly important in romantic relationships, where inconsistencies between words and actions can lead to confusion and misunderstandings. Strengthening conscious communication not only enhances how we interact with others, but also how we relate to ourselves. By being mindful of our own words and actions, we cultivate greater self-awareness and self-control, essential traits for anyone striving to live a Stoic life of virtue and emotional balance. Mastering the art of conscious communication is fundamental not only for resolving persistent thoughts about others, but also for enriching all aspects of social and personal life, enabling us to build relationships grounded in honesty, respect, and mutual understanding. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.